We're going to wrap this up fairly soon, so we'll take a few more questions, and I want them to be good. Right there, please.
I have a bit of a two-parter. Do you remember the name of the bar that you shot in, if it was an actual bar? And do you have any funny stories about the local charms of the bar?
Do you remember the name of the bar that you shot in, and local charms of the area?
I don't remember anything about the local bar, but I can tell you there's a lot of people down there that look like a lot of people.
No, I honestly, I can't remember the name of the bar. And what was the second question?
What do you remember about the local charm, the local flavor, if you will, of the area?
Oh, that was great. I mean, people were fantastic. You know, they were very helpful. Most of these young actors could buy just about anything they wanted and and abuse it. Yeah, so that certainly, they were lovely, lovely people. They were extremely helpful. The most charming thing that happened actually is we showed up, we loved the mine, we told them we want to shoot there, they're all really happy, we go away, we come back 2 weeks later, they painted the mine totally clean. It looked like a bad set of a bad TV show. That's how shiny and clean everything looked. And these people went out, and they were so charming and so lovely, and they said, well, they wouldn't want to shoot in some no dirty mine. So they repainted everything fresh, fresh, fresh. I think that day we went like $50,000 over budget because we had to repaint the whole damn thing to make it dirty again, and they were all so disappointed that we actually did that. But they were the most charming people. I mean, I just shot another picture in Nova Scotia a few weeks ago, and I tell you, it's one of the greatest places to be. People are so wonderful and genuine and helpful and friendly. So anybody from Nova Scotia here right out.
Yeah, I just want to add to what George said. I got lucky enough to, and I think Alf, you did too, the cast members, to actually meet some guys who'd spent like 25, 30 years working underground. And some of the most amazing men I've ever met. Just, you know, miners and miners women are amazing people. And I feel we're just very fortunate to have met a couple of them as part of the we had a 1 week sort of orientation session before we started shooting, so Cape Breton people are first rate. That's all I got to say.
I'd like to throw a question down to Paul. Perhaps he can tell us a little bit about getting ready to play your role. Did you guys hang out with some of the local people and try to pick up some of the mannerisms? I know there was some accent work that was done for the film. Is that correct? Some accent work, as in some of the performers were working on their maritime accents. Performers that didn't have a maritime accent that were trying to develop one for the film. I think George mentioned that in an interview.
Well, if anything, we'd want to be more American than anything else to get the kind of distribution. But no, we didn't work on any accent. I didn't. Anybody else do? In fact, if anything, we tried to, you know, homogenize the accent. I mean, there's no point in doing their accent, nobody can understand them. So, and they were, you know, they were like very happy that we were there because it meant, oh boy, all these Easterners with all that big money. They were pretty thrilled about that, I'll tell you. Everybody thought we were big stars with lots of money. And this was my second film, you know. It was just a hoot, what they thought of us. But they were very kind and everything. Work on accents, no. Work on other things, just the flavor of being a miner. And we spent some time down in the real mine. They took us down to the face, and that was very scary. And the Princess Mine? Yeah, that was frightening. And we were right there at the face, right beside the drill, which is about this big. And you're bent over, and you're about this far away from the drill, and you come up, you know, you're all black-faced. But these guys are down there, day in, day out, year in, year out. Their father, their grandfather, their son, their grandsons. It's a real amazing tradition. I don't know how they do it because it's really, really hard work down there. So you had to really respect that, and you had to somehow get it across that you know, that you were of that tradition. That's about the only work I can think of that I seriously did in terms of working on character, really. You do any character work there, Alf? You scary guy?
You had to really stretch for your character, I think you mentioned earlier, right, Al?
Well, you know, I had so much fun with the whole cast that just acting like a young and was just I don't know what to say. I just want to go back to what Paul said though too, but to have the opportunity to work with George and Bob and to bring us into an audition and ask us to be a part of this project was a real privilege, and it's been a lifetime experience. I will never ever forget Sydney Mines or working on that project. To go down to a Face of a Mind, like Paul just said, to be there with the men, you can't know what that feels like until you're actually there. So I think through some form of osmosis, you're absorbing some of that into your character. At the same time, my character was an apprentice. He was very young and very childlike, and he looks up to these guys, and I had hoped that I'd accomplished that. But most of the time, I was just having a whole lot of fun, both on and off the set, and having an opportunity. I was still a very young actor at that point as well, too, to have had a chance to work with some of these performers who have gone on to expand on their careers or to go into other areas too. But wonderful experience, and thank you very much, George and Bob. I get a chance to say that after 29 years, so thank you very much. Yeah.
Well, you know, one of the funny things about the accents was the fact that, you know, if you're down there for any length of time, everyone picks it up. And after a while, honestly, we just let it go because everyone was speaking that way. So, you know, and it was kind of, for me, it was kind of fun because it was subversive because we were supposed to pretend that it was the States. But I sort of let all the accents go, made sure there was a shitload of moose head in every shot. You know, yeah. just to, you know, like I said, you know, it was the kind of the underhanded subversiveness about it, you know.
The reason that there was so much moosehead in there is because our production manager, Danny Rossner, made a deal. There's a tradition in the film business that at wrap, you produce cases of 24 for the crew, but we couldn't afford to buy beer. So we made a deal with Moosehead that they would supply us with 4 cases, that's 24, 48, 96 beers a day, and we would put their beer in our film. And we were responsible for getting Moosehead into the United States because everybody said, "What's that beer?" They're all drinking that. Next thing we knew, Moosehead was all over the States. How about that? And also a rock band called My Bloody Valentine took our name and made themselves a big bastard.
There's a weird coincidence. Lisa Ladouceur pointed out today that it's actually the lead singer of that band's birthday today.
Hey, happy birthday, Bloody Valentine.
Wherever you are, guy.